Hey everybody, Dr. Rack here. Just wanted to check in. This week we talk a bit about social motivation and the need to interact with others and the need to be accepted. I thought I might talk a little bit more because social motivation is one of my favorite areas and one that I think Brian employs so well. One of my favorite books is by Heifetz and Linsky called Leadership on the Line or Leading Out Loud. I'm just recalling. And the one thing that he states is that sometimes leaders need to come down from the balcony to the dance floor. And I think Brian in 3 Signs of a Miserable Job was really good at that here. He engaged with his employees. He allowed them the opportunity to be creative, to share, to propose ideas. And he really cared about their role and wanted to know about it and how to increase employee morale, as well as the turnover rate. So those are just some examples of what Brian was working on through his presence and his attention to social ability and motivation. So, when I think about this example, working for nonprofits and universities, it's not always easy to, especially virtually, to engage in these types of behaviors that really show that one might show an interest or care about a position because you're very much working independently. There's limited funds for inventiveness or ideas or to look into turnover rates or productivity. There's less funds to spend on data to research those things. I think about one job that I had that was for a for-profit, for a company called Nextdoor, which was actually funded by the same people that ran LinkedIn and Twitter. So a for-profit, lots of technology money. And some of the things that they really did was they would check in to the weather in our town and say, hey, I see that it's really hot there in Ohio. Why don't you take your team out for ice cream today or cold beer? They would do things like send new software or devices that would allow us the ability to be creative in our positions. When you went out to the corporate location, which was in San Francisco, and the good old Sil Valley, they actually, the employees that did work in the office, if they stayed past 5 p.m., dinner was catered. So just a way to show appreciation, to boost morale, to work on retention. And those are the small things, the president there would stay and have conversations, would eat dinner with them. And I think, that's a great example. And I see it a lot more in for-profits than I have for nonprofits. But it is possible with nonprofits as well. I've seen staff every Friday celebrate someone's birthday. They get a choice to pick where they want to go or what they want to have catered. I've seen staff say we need to learn more about each other and each other's positions and do like Fridays where they switch roles, where you would go and sit in on a role of a different department so you can learn the complexity of those jobs. All those things lead to this sense of social motivation. And so I thought I'd share those examples and just check in with y'all. I'm working on my Southern everybody. I'm so used to saying yins, being from Pittsburgh. I hope everyone is doing well. If you have any questions about this week, or concerns, or criticisms, or jokes, feel free to reach out. I'm looking forward to seeing your examples and your analysis and your work this week. Happy mid-February. Take care.